Yo, 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 yo. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the first episode of the Lower Lobby. I'm your host, Alejandra Echeverria. And today, this is the first episode. Not sure if I already said that, but today we're going to be talking about what we're not going to be doing in 2025. We're going to do a little brief year overview and talk about our goals. That's what we're just gonna do. So chill out, get a snack, fold your laundry, and let's get into it. Let's start off with a list. I have a list right here for you guys. This is a reminder. We're gonna go through categories. ChatGPT did help me here, so this is not all original content, but I think they're good reminders. So let's start. Ready? Oh wait, I need to set a timer really quick. Sorry. Let's do 25 minutes. All right. What we're not going to do in 2025 is we're not going to procrastinate. We're not going to procrastinate and put off the things that we know we want to do, because I've been there, and guess what? Time passes by anyways, and suddenly you're almost 29 and you still have so much to do. It's crazy. So no procrastination. Another thing, we're not going to compare ourselves to others. We're not, because we each have our own frequency. We each shine our own unique light. And if you start comparing yourself, it's like we're all different. So it's useless and it's pointless. So let's not do that in 2025. Another thing, make excuses. Yeah. This is a hard one because playing the victim is like so comfortable, because you're like, it's not my fault. It's their fault. She's mean and I'm innocent. No, babe, you also played a part in this. Okay. I know from experience that we kind of create everything that we experience, even if we don't love the outcome. A part of us, whether consciously or unconsciously, we create situations so we can grow out of them and so we can learn lessons and evolve. So next, we're not going to skip self-care routines. We're not going to do that. Before we tuck ourselves into bed, we're going to splash some water on our face, brush our teeth, floss, write a little gratitude in our journal. Whatever it is you need to do, maybe lay out your clothes for the next day. We are going to make time to make our lives easier, to just make us feel loved by ourselves, right? Like, oh my God, I tucked myself in tonight and it was so sweet. And the times that you do it, like I have this rule where I have to shower before I get into bed. So like I will not put on my pajamas and I will not tuck myself into bed, into my sheets, unless I'm showered and in a fresh set of PJs. Okay? Like otherwise I literally end up just sleeping on top of my bed, like if I don't do that. And so when I do, so that way I basically maintain the purity and the cleanliness of my little sleeping sack. And honestly, it's really great. Like I highly recommend it. So let's do that self-care. Oh, let's also just take a breath. Let's take a breath. We're going to do a lot of breathing in 2025. Those of us who are lucky enough to live through it. Let's see. We are not staying in our comfort zone. We are pushing the boundaries. We are trying new things. And yeah, we're not staying comfortable. Beware of comfort. Shout out to Carlos. Carlos, oh my God, qué pena. Shout out to Camilo Rojas. He is an artist. He works with a lot of typography and he does tagging on mattresses and mirrors. And I mean, he just does the coolest stuff. And one of his works highlights the quote, beware of comfort. Comfort keeps you stagnant, keeps you stuck in the same place. Guess what? Our beds are very comfortable. We have very comfortable beds, but it doesn't mean that we should be laying in them all day. So let's not stay in our comfort zone. And let's also not neglect our hobbies and our passions. Like I, for one, I love skating. I used to love rollerblading, but I'm talking about skating, like on quad skates. Man, you can dance, you can groove, you can vibe, and I just haven't made time for it. So this year, we're going to dedicate some time to our hobbies and to skating. So that's my hobby. You can drop the hobbies that you're going to dedicate time to in the comments down below if you want to share. Maybe you can inspire others. Let's see. All right, mental health. Let's not overload ourselves with stress. Honestly, something that I've learned this year is that we can be so quick to like freak out over something when it doesn't go right, like when it instantly like just doesn't go the way we plan. And 9 times out of 10, it was either a misunderstanding or it ends up working out anyways. And so literally the best thing I think I can do and you can do is like, don't react to circumstances. Just notice them and be curious about them. Like instead of being like, oh my God, now what's going to happen? Be like, I wonder what's going to happen. And that way you can just keep your inner peace, because there's so many things happening constantly that are trying to steal your peace. And it's really easy to get pulled in by drama and chaos and all the things of this world that, I mean, life isn't perfect, but if you can maintain a state of calm and knowing that you're good no matter what, I mean, it takes faith, it takes belief that you're held and that you are taken care of, like regardless of the circumstance. If you know, like, I'm gonna be okay, then you don't have to worry. You don't have to stress, whatever it may be. It's all gonna be okay, right? It's all gonna be okay. So we're not gonna stress out over the little things. Holding grudges. Oh man, we're not gonna hold grudges. Just forgive people. Literally, holding a grudge just is you're basically allowing someone else's energy or actions to like retain space inside your body. And if you're holding on to it, you're like holding on to the pain and the anger and the frustration, and you need to let that shit go. And if you let it go, you basically reclaim your power, because it's like, why would I care about that? This person did something to me and it upset me, and you know what? It's in the past. I let it go. Maybe moving forward, maybe you're not as trusting with them, or maybe you establish stronger boundaries, but holding on to a grudge is childish. And I wish some of my relatives would not hold silly grudges against me, because I just love them. And, I make mistakes. I'm human, but there's some people in my family that just have decided to just resent me, and it sucks. It sucks on both ends. So don't hold grudges, because life is short and you just miss out on opportunities for connection. So if you're watching this and you're holding a grudge against someone, just forgive them and move on. Give someone a second chance, because maybe they need one. We're not going to overthink. We're not going to dwell. Toxic positivity. That's an interesting one. So we're not going to allow toxic positivity into our life, which is, this is debatable, because I have this theory that like we should all try to be Pollyannas. And a Pollyanna is someone who is like hopelessly optimistic, like all the time, even when shit hits the fan. But I think that's different from toxic positivity, which is like, oh, it's all just peace and love and like unity. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm mad. Like, I'm angry. You are allowed to be angry. You're allowed to feel despair and scream into your pillow and be like, what the frick is happening? Right? Like, feel all the emotions, because like good emotions aren't just happy emotions. Anger is a good thing. These are all a part of the spectrum of the experience of life, and you have to allow yourself to feel them. So that's what I mean by like toxic positivity. It's like, no, it's not all butterflies and rainbows. There is a rainbow, and sometimes there are thunderstorms, and they all make up life. And so, yeah, allow yourself to feel and be honest and ruthless and authentic in like what it is you're feeling. When you talk to people, like, obviously be kind, but if something's bothering you, be like, hey man, this pissed me off and I don't want you to do this anymore. Not like, hey, look, I know like you're trying and like I don't want to like offend you, but no, just be like, yo, love you, buddy, but like this that you did, I don't like it. Can we not do that moving forward? And just like, you know what I mean? Just like be straight up. People like that. Like the people I like the most are the most straight up people that I know, and they don't sugarcoat, because sugarcoating like wastes time. I know I do that a lot, so let's not waste time in 2025. Oh, I should add a cup of water next time. Remind me to bring a cup of water and take like a Zyrtec or something, because like my nose is stuffy. There used to be a cat here. I mean, a cat lives here, but she's not here right now. And I just I have sinus things, you know. My nose gets stuffy. Okay, let's not talk about that anymore. Bottling up feelings, like I said. We're going to express ourselves. We're going to just tell people how we feel. Okay? Because the world needs that. Because why would you keep that inside? Like, sometimes it's better not to poke the bear, but sometimes you need to be like, yo, you know what? I miss you, buddy. Where you been? Why aren't you calling me back? What the fuck? That upsets me. Love you, but be a better friend, you know? I don't know your friend, but maybe that's what you need to tell them. Let's move on to physical health. We are not going to skip exercising in 2025, whether that be jumping rope or going on a walk or going on a run or a jog or riding your skateboard or skateboarding, or I mean there's so many things, playing frisbee, going kayaking, riding your bike. I mean there's an infinite list of things you could do, but let's make sure we do them, you know, because our bodies, like our vessel, is the one thing we can actually control. Like all the atoms in this being is like, that's mine. That's my universe. That's what I get to control. And if your body is in a healthier state, your mind is in a healthier state, and you're able to do more and achieve more. And I, for one, have only very recently started going to the gym and working out. And like this past week, like I kind of stopped because my membership expired. But oh my God, I feel the difference, like not having worked out this past week. Like, dude, when you get in motion, like automatically the vibes are high. Like you just feel happier. You feel more excited. It's amazing. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to run through these because, okay, I'm not going to run through them. Moving on. Okay, let's cut this bit. Oh. All right. We're also not going to eat too much processed food, okay? We want to eat real food, whole foods, things that grow in the ground, not foods that have like 10,000 ingredients in them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you want to Cheez-It and you got to eat a Cheez-It, you know? But like you can also, I mean, this is crazy, but like I saw that you can literally buy a pack of cheese, like cheese slices, and cut them up and put them in the oven. And then you literally make like your own little Cheez-Its at home. So like, just saying, there's always a way to satisfy a craving without having to buy something that has a 2-year shelf life. Anyways, moving on. We are not going to skip on hydration this year, guys. Like, we should be drinking like at least 2 liters of water per day. Like ideally 4. I mean, that's obviously like a lot, but guys, water, like we are all so dehydrated. It's crazy. So let's drink water. this is just a reminder to drink water. Find yourself a really nice water bottle and just love it like a mother. You know what I mean? Just keep her by your side. We're not going to overindulge in alcohol. Okay? Drinking can be fun. And sometimes it's just the vibe. You just in a party mood and you just want to take a couple shots, or you just want to have a classy little drink or two to loosen up, and that's okay. But like, man, alcohol is draining. It is a draining spirit, and it makes you feel like crap. So let's try to, and honestly, this comes from personal experience. Like, I went through a phase where I was like, I'm not going to drink when I go out. And I would order like a cranberry juice, and I would ask for like a ton of lime juice or just like a ton of limes. Let me tell you how delicious that drink is. And it's also really cheap. And you start to notice that like you can still have so much fun at a party without having to drink. And it's life-changing. You're like, wait, I don't need to poison myself like to have fun. I mean, sometimes you want to, but I'm just saying, there's different ways to party. We are not going to ignore symptoms of illness, or what's the other one? Burnout. Okay? Sometimes we need a day off. Sometimes we need to take a step away from the computer, go to a park, put your feet in the ground. And sometimes like you start to notice you're getting stuffy or you're really bloated. And that's when you have to be like, okay, pause. Let me spend a day eating fruits for breakfast and have a salad and maybe some mashed potatoes or something warm, or a sweet potato for dinner. And let me just drink a lot of water and just like calm it down with consumption for a day. Because a lot of times like we will overwork ourselves or exhaust ourselves or just like drain our life force energy just by consuming so much crap. Like if you like to eat a lot throughout the day, like little bits throughout the day, like your digestive system literally never gets a break. Like your insulin is constantly pumping, and we need to give ourselves more breaks. Like we shouldn't, it's been programmed into our minds that we have to eat 3 meals a day. It's not necessarily true. And honestly, most of the things we do eat, at least here in America, are not healthy foods. Like for breakfast, it's just like, guys, basically just eat real food, like fruits and salads. Like lettuce is so underrated. Like I don't even want to get into it because I haven't been eating that many salads lately and it makes me sad, but lettuce is so underrated. And this like fruit fear, it really breaks my heart because fruit is so good for you. And everyone's like, oh my God, fruit has too much sugar. And it's like, dude, fruit is like the one food that was made for us, like put here by God, that is not only colorful and delicious, and like it turns the perfect color when it's ready to eat, but it's the one thing that you can literally pick off a tree and you can just digest it. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to kill it. You don't have to process it. It's all ready. It's like a packaged, perfect little like sun food sack of joy. And it just breaks my heart that we live in a world where people are afraid to eat fruit, and it makes me so sad. Anyways, so whenever you're feeling a little sick, take a break, drink a lot of water, and eat like high water content foods, because a lot of the time we're just dehydrated. And so yeah, we're not going to ignore our health. Moving on. Relationships. We're not going to like neglect our family or friends, and we're not going to stay in toxic relationships. Sometimes we have to let people go. Sometimes we have to just make the decision to just be like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I have my own life to worry about. And most of the time we do have our own lives to worry about, and we have our own dreams and our own goals, and all this drama with another mama. Like, it's just like a little too much. and you have to detach sometimes just to preserve your energy, because it's so sacred. And we can spend a lot of time worrying and thinking, what's going to happen, or why doesn't this person like me? And sometimes people are just like set to not like you, or set to not understand you, and you just have to let them go, let the bird fly. And if it's meant to be, like, they'll come back into the garden and y'all can hang out. We're not going to avoid difficult conversations or take people for granted, and we're not going to forget to express gratitude to Creator, to life, to our friends and family for being there for us. Like, the attitude of gratitude brings more blessings, because you're in that energy of thanks, of wow, I'm so blessed. And so that frequency just calls in more blessings, so let's do that. And let's not be overcritical of others and ourselves, because, well, you never know what someone else is going through. Like, you literally never know what their life is about at that moment unless they've told you directly. And I know we can be harsh critics to ourselves, but usually at the level at which we feel comfortable criticizing others is just how comfortable we feel criticizing ourselves. Because if you're not critiquing others, you just know that they're obviously going through something. And if you don't critique yourself, then you're just giving yourself grace. Like, I might not be perfect, but I'm trying, and that's enough. Not every day is going to be the best day, and give yourself room to make mistakes. It's part of life. And the less you beat yourself up over little things that might have not gone like the ideal way, like, the more space you give yourself to keep trying. So anyways, oh gosh, there's so many things here. There's so many things. Should I keep going? I'm going to keep going. Financial habits. We are not going to overspend on useless crap, okay? If you have a home of your own and you want to decorate and you want to make it cozy, make it cozy, make it cute, but realize that 9 times out of 10, the things we buy, we end up not using, and they just end up in a landfill at some point, and it's sad. So make sure that the things that you're buying, that they're built to last, and it's not like, something made of a crappy material. Like, try thrifting. If you haven't gotten into thrifting, there's really beautiful things that are looking for homes. So anyways, I think I need a break, you guys. I need a break. I really need a break. Yeah, I need a break. This has been really long. It's kind of boring, like, going through a list, like, top to bottom. I guess it's more fun to, like, talk about my life and experiences, which is something that I want to do later in this episode. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to take a little breather, and we will be right back to the lower lobby going down. Anyways, I don't know if you guys know this, but I grew up in Aventura, Florida. That's Miami, if you bitches didn't know. And I lived in this apartment building, and it was very common for there to be a lobby, and then there was a lower lobby, which was LL. And most of our elevators talked back. So whenever you would select, like, lower lobby, the voice would be like, lower lobby. And she would just really have a little attitude, and it would say going down, lower lobby. So that's where I got the name from, because we're not in the main lobby, you guys, where it's all fancy and we all like, we classy, and we like have etiquette, and we don't talk about taboo topics. And no, we're in the lower lobby. We're in the subterranean sphere. Okay. We are in the parking lot. We are in the utility closets down here. We're in the back rooms, and we get beneath the surface. We get beneath the surface because everything has meaning. Everything has meaning, and there's so much that we don't see, and that's why it's like, let's just like, it's so easy to like make up your mind about something or someone, but you don't even know what's going on the other side. And so it's like, fuck. I said the F word. I need a break, guys. This has been great. Thank you for this, but I'm gonna just hit the pause button. Cause this has gone on long enough. Hit the pause button. Okay, that's thank you. Goodbye. And we're back. Thank you for being here. This is the lower lobby, and let's continue on the list of things that we're not doing in 2025. We're going to run through this as quickly as possible, but as deeply as possible, because here at the lower lobby, we get beneath the surface. We're not superficial. No, we're real here. Real, authentic, deep digging moles, okay? We like to mine. We like to find value in the ordinary. So, wow, guys, that's so spiritual of me to say. I'm just so #deep. Okay, continuing. We're not going to say yes to everything, because sometimes we need to say no. Do you understand? Like the other day, I have a friend who, she was moving out of her storage unit, and like we had planned on it, but then she like basically like kind of canceled on me the day before, but like she didn't give me confirmation we were doing it. And then the next day, I like early in the morning, she was like, so are you going to come here? And it was like an hour away. And I was like, oh my God, like I really don't want to go, but I felt obligated to. And in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry, babe. Like if you had confirmed with me sooner, I would be there, but like, I can't do it. Like, no, I'm sorry. And normally I would have said yes. And I would have spent half a day doing something that I didn't need to do because it wasn't my responsibility. You understand? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to say no, even if it feels like the wrong thing to do. Like I felt like the right thing to do was to say yes, but then I would have been saying no to myself, and I would have been saying yes to another person. So just say yes to yourself and say no to other people sometimes. Ask for help. So yeah, the point is we are not going to fail to ask for help. So sometimes you need people, sometimes you need advice or support or guidance. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, be like, hey, you know a lot about this. Can you teach me, or can you give me a little walkthrough, or can you give me some advice, like how you would move through this challenge? Cause like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it's okay to admit that like, most of us don't really know what we're doing. We all just like are really good at pretending to like be adults and like, wow, this is what I do. But most of us are just kind of winging it, and it's beautiful. That's why like the whole fake it till you make it is like real, and it works because if you believe that you're doing the necessary things you need to do to get from point A to point B, usually you are. And like, it doesn't matter what your credentials are. Like, as long as you're doing it, you're moving forward. So ask for help. Moving on. Let's not get distracted. 2025, we're not getting distracted. We are setting timers, okay? When we sit down for work, we're putting our phone in another room, and we're gonna buy a little timer, and we're gonna set it for 25 to 45 minutes, depending on how difficult the task is. And when that timer is done, we take a little break. We take a little fiver, and then we get back to work, because with today, with the phones and the social media, it's like really hard. It's hard to just feel like there aren't like a million things that want your attention all the time. So focus mode. We need focus mode in 2025. Let's see. In 2025, we are not excessively going to use single-use plastics, okay? We are buying a pack of glass reusable straws to keep at home. We are carrying, we are carrying like silverware, like keychain silverware. It's super cute. And honestly, something that I love to do is whenever I buy like a coffee when I'm outside and it's like a plastic cup, usually I end up coming home with it, or at least I try to save it. And when I do, it's really cool because now you have a little plastic, like it's basically trash. It's a single-use plastic, but you can essentially make yourself a new iced coffee or a chai latte at home, and then when you can leave the house with it and then throw it out on the street. So you basically get 2 uses out of a single-use plastic, which, I mean, it's silly, but I love when I do it because it just feels like it's not just, it gets to live a life twice. And also it's just so nice to leave the house with a beverage, and just, you don't have to spend $7 at a Starbucks. You can just make yourself something really yummy at home, and you don't need a lot of ingredients. Like I made myself a latte with almond milk, coffee, and sugar, and it was delicious, and ice. That's literally it. That's all you need. So moving on. Okay, we're not going to be ignoring opportunities to recycle. Okay, I have been living in New York for a minute now. This is not a very long time. It's really just a minute, a couple months, but you have the opportunity to recycle here. And if you don't, it's looked down upon, and you should feel shamed. You should feel a little bit of a shame. You should feel a little bit of a shame because it's available. And yeah, you might have to go the extra mile to separate your trash or clean out certain plastics or cartons before you put them in the recycling bin. But like, let's not be that person that doesn't recycle, because it just takes a little bit of effort and you give something a second life. So let's make an effort, you guys. Let's move on to technology and digital habits. Thank you, ChatGPT. So you're so helpful dividing this into categories. So we're not going to be spending excessive time on social media. We've all done this. Like, I was in my TikTok era and spending just hours and hours a day on TikTok. And I don't know why Instagram, like, I stopped using Instagram a bit and replaced it with TikTok, which is like kind of bad because I don't even know anyone on TikTok. It's just random people. But we're going to just spend more time on ourselves and not on social media, because what do you really have to gain other than bits and bobs of random information that you forget 10 minutes later, right? We're not going to ignore digital detoxes. So sometimes, like, we need a weekend off. Like, I need a couple days of no Instagram. Sometimes you need to delete the app for a week or a month or a couple months and just take that time that you are investing in outwardly in the social sphere and then just turn it around and put that time into yourself, because everybody wants attention, but guess who needs the attention most of all is you. Your life, your dreams, your goals need your attention, because your time is an investment and your energy and your attention is an investment, and you should put your attention towards yourself, because you are your greatest project, your greatest venture, and you only get one, right? At least in this body, in this vessel. So let's take a step back every now and then if we feel like we need it, to focus on ourselves. The most important thing we have is our bodies and our minds, our relationships, and our lives. We are not going to skip on backing up our devices. I have too many times already. It's happened twice. Lost everything on my laptop, all my pictures. I did it once in college and then once again recently with a random what was it? I think it was my iPad or something. I don't know what happened, but losing your photos and just document, it's a nightmare. Just back up your stuff. You never know what could happen. Let's not neglect digital privacy. Like, always back up your accounts with an email or with a phone number. Nowadays, like, there are hackers. Like, let's put digital privacy first and just protect ourselves, because this world is getting a little crazy. So protect yourself on the digital sphere, you guys. You guys, I started a podcast. It's my first episode. I can't believe I'm actually doing it. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and all it took was just sitting down and doing it. There's this like funny guy who he like raps, and there's a line that was like, "They asked me how I do it, I just did it. It was hard." That's really it. They asked me how I do it and how I did it. Oh no, he said, "I just did it. It was hard." How do you do it? I just did it and it was hard. Period. You just got to do it. So we're not going to overconsume entertainment. Okay. I know there are so many TV shows, there's so many things you want to watch, and like I suffer from this where I'll literally start a show and I'm like, oh, let me just see if I like it. And then I'm like an episode or two in, and then I'm like, dang flabbit, now I feel obligated to watch this or finish this show, even though like I'm bored and I don't like it. So just give yourself permission to like remove something from your watch list, and it's like remove from recently watched, because it's like you realize that you're going to have to invest hours and hours and hours into this storyline or this script where that has like crappy writers, and this is like hours of your life that you will never get back. So please, like, I understand wanting to watch like a good TV show. Like, trust me, I love TV. Like, I come from a family of my grandpa. He loves TV. He loves it a little too much, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I love the cinema, but sometimes there's just so many bad shows. There's so much bad entertainment. Just with bad writing. So just let's limit that in 2025 and focus more on this TV show, because I really feel like life is nothing short of a Broadway play, and we're all a cast, and there are different characters in your life that play different roles, and anyways, moving on. Habits and discipline, that's another category. We're not going to skip our daily routines, okay? I'm not speaking from experience, because I'm still struggling to stick to a daily routine, but I know this is something that I need to do. And if I need to do it, most of you probably need to do it too, because I mean, we're human. Routines, it's hard to find a routine that works, but we gotta have routine, because otherwise it's just chaos. It's just chaos. I mean, chaos is fun. I've spent most of my 20s existing in chaos, and what has come of it? Yeah, fun experiences, but a lot of jumping around, a lot of instability, and a lot of just unfulfillment, just feeling unfulfilled. I don't know if unfulfillment is a word. Just feeling unfulfilled. So stick to routine, make a plan, follow through, and you're probably just going to feel so much better about yourself as a person for doing that. We're not going to break commitments to ourselves in 2025. If you tell yourself this year, I want to get fit, I want to go to the gym 4 times a week, you're going to go to the gym 4 times a week. You're going to practice the things you want to practice. You're going to do the things that you want to do, because this is 2025, baby. Okay. The planets are aligning. January 25th, big day. I don't really know the exact science of it, but like planets are aligning that have never aligned before. And it's like just a super important day to manifest. And there's like a portal opening. So like January 25th of 2024, like make sure you step into this new year in the right energy. Okay. Because it's time to step into a new life, a new way of being. It's time to transform into the butterfly, from after being the worm for so long, like I am stepping into my chrysalis, and so should you. Because I mean, unless you're just happy with your life, if you're just so happy with your life, like this podcast is probably not for you right now. Because like I'm not super happy with my life. Like I'm working on it. This is part of it. Being seen, stepping into the light, expressing myself freely without fear of judgment. So yeah. Anyways, in 2025, we are not going to forget to celebrate small wins and little victories. Give yourself a pat on the back. Notice when you drink enough water that day. Oh my God, I drank enough water today. Good for me. I'm so disciplined. I went to the gym. Maybe I didn't do the full 4 sets, but I did 3, and that's amazing. That's more than I did yesterday, or that's more than some people did, you know? Just be nice to yourself, because if you're not going to be your own cheerleader, who is? You know what I mean? You're your number one cheerleader. So celebrate every day, because you could die tomorrow, and it would suck if your last day on this earth was one where you were just beating yourself up or just not feeling good enough, because that's what we all go through. We all feel like we're not good enough or we're not worthy until you make the decision that you are. And that's really all it is. It's a decision. You know what? F it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And I'm capable, and I'm wise, and I'm good enough, and I'm beautiful, and I deserve to take up space. Whether she likes it or not, or he likes it or not, it doesn't matter what they think, because it's my life. It's about me and what I feel I need to do. So celebrate yourself and celebrate your journey, because it's not about like what you accomplish. It's about what happens on your way there that like is the character development and makes you who you are. So we're done with that. Thank God. Thank God for, yeah, there's a creator. He's so funny. He's like, thank God for the Dior 2024 spring collection. Anyways. All right. So that's what we're not going to do in 2025, you guys. Now, a little introduction, a little about me, although you might already know me, but let's go over 2024. What happened in 2024? What was my life about? And what we're going to try to move into in 2025, my goals, if you're interested. So starting in 2024, I was living with my grandparents, Mami Ma and Papi Pa. You guys, I know it's like not cool to live with your grandparents, but honestly, I loved it so much. Like I hadn't spent that much time with my grandma and grandpa in a long time, and we had a super cozy bedroom. It was me and my partner. We were back in the States after being in Mexico for 2 years. And it was just so wholesome. And I don't know if I'll get that opportunity again, like in this lifetime. And so, yeah, no regrets, truly. But unfortunately, my partner and I, we both just weren't doing the work. We weren't moving forward. And so we broke up. He moved back to Mexico by force, because I was like, you gotta go. And I was invited to come to New York by my best friend Ari, and we were roommates for like 3 months. I was here during the summer. It was fun. I was doing babysitting. I was working some gigs with Inkwells, super fun stuff. And yeah, at the end of the summer in August, Conrad and I, my partner and I, it had been pretty traumatizing to be apart, and we have already committed so much time to each other. And so I decided, I was like in a really dark place, because I hit rock bottom like multiple times here in the city, because babe, if you're gonna come to New York City, you better come ready to be in that fire energy to give it your all. Because if you're not here with a purpose, here with like a let's crush it mentality, like this city will chew you up and spit you out. Like I don't know. That was my experience. You got to be here for a reason. You got to be here with a kind of winter attitude, because if you're just down in the dumps, it's just the city doesn't help. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. So anyways, I decided to go to Puerto Morelos in the fall. So I missed the fall here in New York, but it's fine because I got tropical paradise in Mexico, in Quintana Roo. It was beautiful. It's a little small beach town with like no stoplights, and it was just 2 bus routes basically, and I loved it so much. Spent 3 months in Mexico, güey, and then me vine de vuelta a New York City for the winter. We'll be here for another 3 months, just about, and my partner came to visit, so we've been here for a couple of weeks now, and it's so nice. It's so nice. We really made up in Mexico and reconnected, and we're back on path and on track for what we want for our lives. And so now we're both in New York City. We spent Christmas together, celebrated an anniversary, and pretty soon, because he is here on visa, he's gonna go to Asia, like Asia, baby, like Vietnam, Thailand, like Asia. I don't know if I'm allowed to say but yeah, he's gonna go to Asia, and I'm gonna maybe stay in Miami for a while, and otherwise, yeah, just go to Asia, just follow him to Asia. So we'll see how it goes. So that's future plans, but right now, just in New York at the moment, and maybe gonna visit some family in a minute in January. So that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing too major in 2024. I've been wanting to start YouTube for such a long time and other ventures, but it's just like I've been stuck. I've been stagnant, and I'm not anymore. At least this is a step in the right direction. So let's talk about goals. My goals for 2025. So number 1, launch my channels. One was a podcast channel. The other one is my main. It's Alejandra Echeverria. You can find me at Alenuza, like ALENUZAA. Another goal is get fit and lean, baby. Like, I'm almost 29, and I've never been like at the beach and been like, yeah, you're welcome. I'm at the beach because I'm hot. I'm sexy, baby. Like, I have just always had this dream to have like a killer body, and I've always just had a bit of a pouch, a little chub, just a little chunky girl, living in a snack-filled world. And I really just want to just get fit and just be like, yeah, I'm finally hot, like, and no one can say I'm not, you know. And it's mostly for myself. So definitely want to get fit and lean this year. Have a workout routine that I stick to, like going to church, just religiously working out on my body and loving it, falling in love with it. I want to get really flexible. I don't know if this is one of anybody else's goals, but like, I think flexibility is really underrated. And I think old people, like, people age really rapidly because they are inflexible. And not just on a physical level, but like on a mental level. I feel like people age mentally and spiritually because they're like, their mind, they're so like stagnant or fixated on like one way of being or one way of thinking that they just get stiff, you know. They get stagnant and stiff. So flexibility in the body and in the mind. Another goal is to just freely express myself without fear. Expression without fear. That's been like the number one issue I've had for a while, is like holding myself back from expressing myself because I'm afraid of what people are going to think, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not put together enough, or whatever it is, like, or what are they going to think, or you know. And enough of that. Enough. I have one life, you have one life. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to express yourself. And the people that are going to like it, good for them. The people that don't, they're just going to find something else to focus their attention on. Simple as that. And haters going to hate. That's all always been the case. But usually haters are people that don't have anything going on for themselves, truly. Another goal of mine is to prioritize myself, say yes to myself more. Like if I have a plan for the day, like I've noticed that like I tend to go with the flow, but like the other day my plan was to like go to the gym and then go home and like pack and leave. And then I like bumped into someone. They're like, oh, come to dinner with us. And then because of going to dinner, I ended up spending money I didn't really want to spend, ended up paying for something that wasn't even mine, and then ended up getting home super late. The gym closed early because it was a Sunday, so I didn't get to go to the gym. And then I got home super late, and all that because I said yes to someone else and said no to myself. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret things, but I would have preferred just to honor what I said I was going to do. I mean, sometimes obviously go with the flow. If you meet a really cool group of people, sometimes it's just like the best thing that could happen. But other times, like you are the best thing that can happen to yourself. Like just having a great day is the best thing you can give yourself, the best gift. Anyways, another goal of mine is like to really hone in on my hobby, which is skating. I love skating. And I call this the triple F. This is another goal, which is FaceTime friends and family. FaceTime friends and family. FFF. I just need to FaceTime friends and family so much because it feels like you're there, and my relationships and my communication with the people in my life like hasn't been the strongest, and it has led to some resentment from people I care about because I haven't been that present, or I haven't been that like connected to them, and I don't want to bring that into the new year. So another goal is to take myself seriously. You know, I know that I think for a lot of us, it's like, oh, we need to have more fun and not take life so seriously. But like, if you're like me and you've been very nonchalant about your dreams or your aspirations, and you've kind of treated yourself like a joke, or like you're not good enough or not worthy, like, no, girl, like take yourself seriously. Like, yes, have fun, but like do the things you say you want to do, because like time is just going to pass anyways. And like the worst thing that could happen, I think, is to be like 65 and be like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I had tried, or if I had done that. So take yourself seriously. Like if you think you're capable of accomplishing something, go for it, because no one else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to show up for you. And let me tell you, time flies when you're not getting stuff done. Like it's crazy to think that I'm 29. It's like, what have I done all these years? It's like, really, like what have I actually done? And I've managed to stay busy. I've managed to live a full life, but has it been a fulfilling life where I have like outcomes and results and like things that I can look back and be like, wow, I did that? Like, not really. I mean, I have done a lot of stuff, but like my own personal development and goals and projects, like I feel like I'm starting fresh in a way, and I'm almost 29. So it's like, just get it started and don't stop. Next goal is creation over consumption. Just, I've consumed a lot. I know you've consumed a lot, and it's time to enter into our creation phase. Because the more you create, the more you are in the act of expression, and the more you consume, you're literally just giving your life to someone else. Like and that's how you pay them, like with your views. That's why views are so important, because it's like you are just giving pieces of you're like feeding someone else with your existence. So the more you can feed yourself by creating, you're just consuming less, and you just give more power to yourself, as opposed to plugging in to Netflix and powering Netflix, you know, as opposed to like powering your own projects. Anyways, moving on. You get the point. Another goal, stop watching bad TV. I already said that. And another last goal is be as non-reactive as possible and just keep my inner peace. Like I just tend to like get overwhelmed or like worry too much about things, and it's just like it at the end of the day, it always works out, like eventually. So don't take things personally. Don't get overwhelmed. Just like stay calm and just be curious and be like, whatever happens, it's going to work out. Like, I don't know how, but it will. And that's kind of it for my goals. Like, I know there are more, but as of now, that's what I wrote down. Coriño, ven bebe, come here. He wants to go on a walk. Well, that's time. That is time. I can't believe it. I think I did it. I think that is my first ever podcast episode. If you watch this all the way through, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it or listening. Thank you so much for listening. And this is one of many. I'm going to try to release an episode every day or every other day of the podcast. So stay tuned, and I will see you on the next one in 2025. Good luck, everybody. Stay true to yourself, and let's go. Let's freaking go, guys. Just without fear, just full on beast mode. And yeah, I believe in you. Lots of love, peace and blessings, and namaste, baby. Namaste.